Hello friends, I am your maths faculty from QLS Academy. Today we are going to learn about comparing quantities. So let's start our lesson for today. Introduction. In our daily life, there are many occasions when we compare two quantities. Suppose we are comparing height of Hina and Amir. We find that Hina is 2 times taller than Amir, or we can say Amir's height is half of Hina's height. Consider another example where 20 marbles are divided between Rita and Amit, such that Rita has 12 marbles and Amit has 8 marbles. Now we can say that Rita has 3 by 2 times of marbles that Amit has, or Amit has 2 by 3 part of what Rita has. Do you remember comparison like this? We did it in class 6th. We have learned to make comparison by saying how many times one quantity is of another quantity. Here we see that it can also be inverted and written as what part one quantity is of other. Now in the given cases we write the ratios of the height. Hina's height is to Amir's height is 150 is to 75 or 2 is to 1. Can you now write the ratios of the other comparisons? These are relative comparisons and could be same for two different situations. If Hina's height is 150 centimeter and Amir's height is 100 centimeter, then the ratio of their height would be Hina's height is to Amir's height. Hina's height is 150 is to Amir's height 100. Now 150 upon 100 is equals to 3 upon 2 or 3 is to 2. This is same as the ratio of Rita's and Amit's share of marbles. Thus, we can say that the ratio for two different comparisons may be the same. Remember that to compare two quantities, the units should be the same. For example, find the ratio of 3 km to 300 meter. Solution. First, convert both the distances into same unit. So, 3 km is equals to 3 into 1000 meter, which will be 3000 meter. Thus, the required ratio will be 3 km is to 300 meter is 3000 meter is to 300 meter is equals to 10 is to 1. Now, next topic, equivalent ratios. Equivalent ratio. Different ratio can also be compared with each other to know whether they are equivalent or not. To do so, we need to write the ratios in a form of fractions and then compare them to convert them to like fractions. If these like fractions are equal, we say that the given ratios are also equal. अब equivalent ratios होते क्या है? हमें equivalent ratios को अगर equal, दो ratios equal हैं वो proof करना है, तो पहले हम उन्हें fractions में convert करेंगे, फिर हम check करेंगे कि वो like fractions equal है कि नहीं. अगर वो like fractions equal होते हैं, मतलब ratios भी equivalent है. Following is the performance of a cricket team in a match it played. Year, wins or losses. Last year 8 wins थे and 2 losses थे. This year 4 wins and 2 losses. In which year was the record better? How can you say so? Last year win is to loss का ratio था 8 is to 2 का, which is 4 is to 1. This year wins is to losses का ratio था 4 is to 2, which is 2 is to 1. Obviously 4 is to 1 is greater than 2 is to 1. Hence we can say that the team performed better last year. Keeping things in proportion and getting solution. Aruna made a sketch of a building she lives in and drew the sketch of her mother standing beside the building. Mona said there seems to be something wrong with the drawing. Can you say what is wrong? How can she say so? Now, in this case, the ratio of the height of the drawing should be the same as the ratio of the actual drawing. That is, actual height of the building upon actual height of the mother should be equal to the height of the building in the drawing upon height of the mother in the drawing. मतलब proportions की बात कर रहे हैं हम. हमारी जो ड्राइंग थी उसमें मदर की हाइट का प्रोपोर्शन और हाउस के हाइट का प्रोपोर्शन जो है वो एक्चुअल हाउस के हाइट का प्रोपोर्शन और मदर की हाइट के प्रोपोर्शन के इक्वल होना चाहिए. Only then would these be in proportion. Often when proportions are maintained, the drawing seems pleasing to eyes. Now another example. Do you know that the flags are always made in a fixed ratio of length to its breadth? These may be different for different countries, but mostly they are around 1.5:1 or 1.7:1. We can take the approximate value of these ratios as 3:2. Now we can say whether a card with length 4.5 cm and breadth 3 cm is near to this ratio. That is, we need to ask, is 4.5:3 equivalent to 3:2? Now we note that 4.5:3 is equals to 4.5 upon 3 is equals to 45 upon 30 is equals to 3 upon 2. Hence, we can say that 4.5:3 is equivalent to 3:2. We have also learnt a method in the earlier classes known as unitary method, in which we first find the value of 1 unit and then the value is required number of units. The car that I own can go to 150 km with 25 liters of petrol. Now, how far will it go in 30 liters petrol? Solution: with 25 liters of petrol, the car goes 150 km. With 1 liter, the car will go 150 upon 25 kilometers. Hence, with 30 liter, it will go 150 upon 25 into 30 kilometers, which will be 180 kilometers. In this method, we first find the value of 1 unit or the unit rate. This is done by the comparison of two different properties. For example, when you compare the total cost of number of items, we get the cost per item, or if we take the distance travelled at a time taken, we get distance per unit time. Thus, you can see that we often use per to mean for each. For example, kilometer per hour, children per teacher, etc. denote unit rates. Percentage, another way of comparing quantities. Anita said that she has done better as she got 320 marks out of 400, whereas Rita got 300 from 360. Do you agree with her? Who do you think has done better? Now, Mansi told them that they cannot decide who has done better by just comparing the total marks obtained, because the maximum marks out of which they got the marks are not the same. She said, why do you see the percentage given in your report cards? Anita's percentage was 80 and Rita's was 83.3. So, this shows that Rita has done better. Do you agree? Percentage are numerator of fractions with denominator 100 and have been used in comparing results. Now, this was all for today. So, to conclude, we learned about comparison of quantities by unitary method and introduction of percentage. Next, we will do in our next class. Hope you enjoyed learning. For any further information or you have any query, kindly go to the following links. Thank you.